everyone, and welcome to episode 104 of the Friday Nightmares podcast. I am one half of your hosting team this evening, coming to you from the town of Swartz Creek in the county of Genesee, in the state of Michigan, in the United States of America, in the North American continent, in the Western Hemisphere, on planet Earth, in the Milky Way galaxy. I'm fully vaxxed, boosted, and waxed, and ready to climax, and if you can, please get me wet and feed me after midnight. I'm the man with the glorious beard, aka Mother of Cats, aka the man with the humongous ego, aka Scott Housen, aka Scotty Few Hottie, aka Spanky, aka one half of the premium podcasting duo, aka Hey Scott, and aka, of course, Smoke Show Crawford. And with me as always is
Heather Powell coming to you today from Waterdown, Ontario, Canada. Scott and I remembered how to use Skype. It was very exciting for us today. Obviously there's been life circumstances for Scott and I, which was why we haven't recorded. And I was going to talk about it, but I think we should just really mention the fact that I've been too busy binging unlicensed character movies for the past 3 months. And Scott didn't want to hear about how amazing some of these movies are because I've watched all of them.
Yeah, but, I think I've watched half of them.
See, Scott, I know that you've been avoiding me because of it.
I have. I'm sorry.
And I just, I want you to know that you can't run forever from the talented cinema that we have had released in the past 3 months. It's been an interesting 2025. In the 5 years we've been doing this, Scott, I have never once said it's been a bad year for movies.
Yeah.
It's been a bad year for movies. And I think there's been some enjoyables, but I literally have one movie that I would have in my top 10.
Oh, really?
One. If I had to do a top 10, okay, maybe two. There's one other one that maybe I would have. And let's see, I have watched a lot more than you because I am the true premium podcaster on this podcast.
You so are.
37 films. Now,
good God.
7 of those films, mind you, are, not good. Like, really not good. And I know it. But there were some that's so bad, I didn't even bring them up. There was an alligator movie that I didn't bring up on here.
I did the same. Probably the same movie you and I both watched. The
Bayou?
Yep.
Because, if this was back in the day and we were recording all the time, I would have wanted to talk about it with you and make fun of it. But, it was fine. I'll give them credit. Practical effects. Quick shout out to the Bayou. Practical effects, in some cases, that was entertaining. But there's other ones that were so fucking boring that I didn't even bother. It's really, and even then we have a list of quite a bit, but it's been slow for me this year.
Which is saying something because, you're at 37. I am at a total of 18 because I've.
And do you have a top, a couple for your top 10?
Yeah, right now I have 3 that would for sure be top 10 contenders, and one that is would be kind of on the border of top 10.
Yeah, right now mine's mediocre 10. It's like we're rating ourselves. You know what I mean? We're a mediocre podcast. It's been a mediocre year. Anyway. So I'm glad that you have, really taken your rest and are ready for me to talk about some of these unlicensed gemmed.
Can any of us really be ready?
I think that they're all masterpieces, and I really look forward to us discussing them. Though I did watch the trailer for the Final Destination Bloodlines film, and be real, it's a rinse and repeat, right? You've seen one Final Destination movie, you've seen them all. But fuck, man, I'm here for it at this point. I'm just so thirsty.
Oh, I was giddy as hell watching that trailer, and then just to sadly see Tony Todd as skinny and sickly as he was in that, but still to be able to see him in his last role makes me fucking happy.
Right. Except for Rob. Rob's fucking Final Destination.
Yeah.
I can just hear him now. He's like, you fuckers in your fucking Final Destination. Motherfuckers. Fucking shitty Heather and her fucking opinions. Wait, Heather, you want to talk about your trip? Yeah, Rob, I do have another trip coming up, motherfucker. I do. And I deserve it, Rob. Life's been hard for Scotty and I.
It has. It really has.
We've had to watch these movies, and we've been so upset we can't even talk about them.
So true.
But here we are. So I guess we'll begin because we do have a lot, and Scott and I have many responsibilities because we're quite important people.
We
Um,
are, it's the life of a premium podcaster, unlike what Tim and Luffy always talk about being the fucking Beef Wellington of podcasts. Yeah, you got what? I do have a quick shit talking to say to good old Tim
oh,
Davis from
okay.
Dummies of Horror because he was saying, Beef Wellington, only one person can make a Beef Wellington, and that's Gordon Ramsay. Where unlike those tomahawk steak podcasters, anybody can cook a tomahawk. Yeah, that's right. Only one person can make a fucking Beef Wellington, and it sure as fuck ain't you guys, fuckers. It's goddamn Gordon motherfucking Ramsay. It's like, see, we are what everyone knows. Like you get a tomahawk steak, you know what you're getting. You know it's gonna be good no matter what. So you can go and pretend you're making your beef Wellington on your TikTok videos and make
TikTok
your raw ass
videos.
home cooking bullshit. Yeah, go let the true cook Gordon Ramsay deal with the beef Wellington. Y'all don't know what you're talking about.
And first of all, clearly not everyone can make a tomahawk steak because we haven't released an episode in 2 months almost. So clearly not everyone can do it, Tim. We're not just, a production line of horror movies, commentaries and talking about them. I think Tim's mad at me. In our group chat, he never responds to what I say. I think he's mad at me. I don't know why. I've kept my Patreon up.
Yeah,
I don't insult him like Rob does. I ask him questions and he doesn't answer. I think Tim and I are breaking up. Like,
that's not cool,
I
Tim.
know.
Tim,
Like,
don't be ghosting Heather.
yeah, I get enough ghosting, Tim. Scott's ghosting me because I'm like, when we want to record, he's like, oh wow, so busy, Heather. Saw you watched I Love Willie for the third time. So busy. Can't find a time. But I'm like, but I need to talk about Mouse of Horrors.
And I'm like, wait, who are you again?
Popeye the Slayer Man. I can't wait. I can't wait.
And I do have to say, did you see there's another Popeye movie called Shiver Me Timbers?
I tried to watch it and even I had to shut it off.
Oh, okay, that says something. Okay.
Yeah.
Good
But
to
I
know.
cool will watch it later because I was trying to watch it with someone else and they were like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm like, this is just for me in my private time. It's like if you watch really fucked up porno and you don't want anyone else to know that you watch it. That's like my version.
That's
I'll
fair.
go on one of those like addiction shows and they're like, Heather, what's your problem? I'm like, I really like bad unlicensed character films, like a lot. And like they watch it and they're like, you need help, Heather.
Someone needs to have to do an intervention for me.
I'm like, Goldilocks, Three Bears, Death and Porridge. Anyway,
Yay!
we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
I can't wait.
But it's been so long since I've watched this first one here. It was a drop on Shutter. It was a drop on Shutter earlier this year, and I called it Gifted. It was grafted because it's been so long. Did you watch this? I know it was a
No,
while
this is
ago.
one. This is one I want to still watch because this is just one. Erica seeing the trailer, and she's like, "Yeah, this one is gonna be all you, buddy," because I just can't watch. Like, she doesn't like a lot of the body horror stuff.
Oh, then yeah, she probably shouldn't watch this one then. This is much better than other stuff that Shudder has dropped before. And I could see this being, I do think this is a must watch of the year. And I think a lot of people are going to skip over it. But it was quite interesting. So Beauty is only skin deep. When an awkward but brilliant Chinese student wins a scholarship in a prestigious New England university, she finds a way of achieving the popularity she craves, one bloody body at a time. And I will say, now that I think about it, maybe I do have two films that could, if I had to do a top 10, this would be on there right now out of the films I've watched. I don't know if it will stay there, but it would be out of the 37 films I've seen. The acting in this is quite good. It's a story that we're all familiar with. Bullied teenage girl who's maybe not quite right, takes revenge, right? But I would say that it was fucking good. The body horror is excellent in this. It moves quickly. It doesn't overstay its welcome. You're in and out within a 93-minute time, which is, we all know, something that Scott and I appreciate.
I love being in and out.
Love it. Mr. Matt Wood, who I listen to, he has a little, there's a DJ platform and he performs every Friday night and I listen to his set. And I go into the chat room. His DJ name is Freebase, and he's a very good DJ. Like, I know we burn Matt a lot on this show, but fuck, is he talented? Like, his mixes are so good. So believe it's called Old School Radio. Maybe I'll send the link to Scotty and he can share it in our notes, just as a support to Matt.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you get a chance, Scotty, it's Friday afternoons. He's usually on around 1 o'clock our time. And I go in the chat room and I talk with all the DJs there and try to act cool. And I'm really not cool. But because I'm Canadian, they're like, wow, foreigner, right? So they're impressed.
Not American.
Yeah, they're like, are you? I'm like, oh, no. No. So he gave it 3 stars. I'm a big fan of body horror, and there was aspects of this movie that I really liked. I won't give something away there. You're not supposed to like the character and to be like the characters, and I didn't. That's true. Didn't like the lead either. But that was my problem. Not giving a fuck did take away from it. The lead is quite weird, and she's supposed to be weird. But I think in terms of a simple, easy watch, enjoyable enough, it's worth it. If you have the Shuddy, I suggest you go watch it. And especially if you're true premium podcasters like Scott and I, you would definitely need to watch it. Let's see. I see Sexy Tim Davis has watched it. So has Miss Kate Pollock. So, and Rob gave it a 1. Of course he did.
Of course he did.
But yeah, so that was the Shudder's first drop of the year. If you missed it, definitely go back and check it out.
Nice. Yeah, this is like I said, this is definitely one I plan on watching. I just gotta find the time to watch it on my own. But yeah, this next one though, finally got a chance to watch this because I know you watched this way earlier in the year, and I just watched it about a week ago, and that is from the Twisted Childhood universe or the Pooniverse. I forget which one it's called now, but Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. Wendy Darling strikes out in an attempt to rescue her brother Michael from the clutches of the evil Peter Pan, who intends to send him to Neverland. Along the way, she meets a twisted Tinkerbell who is hooked on what she thinks is fairy dust. Now, this, I think, is probably my favorite of this universe so far.
It's the best made, for sure.
And it's definitely, this is one of my contenders for top 10. I fucking love this. It was way darker than I had anticipated it being, and like kind of played it more realistic instead of like fairy tale style like the Winnie the Pooh movies are. This one definitely has more of a ground in reality situation, and holy shit, like, yeah, Peter Pan, creepy as fuck. Kind of reminded me of Ethan Hawke and Black Phone, like has that very similar vibe throughout this movie. And the Tinkerbell character, you just feel so bad for. Like you find out information about them and just but this one, yeah, I absolutely loved it. I was hooked from beginning to end. It's got some really good gore sequences. It's got definitely the biggest budget of the universe so far. And I was in before. I am so fucking in now. I cannot wait to see the rest.
You know, this is the only one that has its separate category. Everyone else has been lumped together from the unlicensed characters. And there's a reason why. This one is a very good movie. This isn't I do believe it had a theatrical release in some parts of the world, and I can see why. It's quite well done. It's kind of on the borderline of like what was that really intense criminal show? It was really fucking dark. It was a TV show. Sure. Grissom, I think, was on it, and that Penelope chick. Criminal Minds. Criminal Minds. It kind of reminds me of a really dark Criminal Minds. Like, it's really based, as you said, in reality, or, well, this guy's reality, I guess you could say.
Yes.
Right. And I agree with you. I think this is a British film. All the people are British in it. So it's obviously made in Britain, like majority of them have been. And definitely this had the most character, the most money, the most resources, the better acting, the better writing. And I think the scores say so itself. Like, Matt's given it 3. Tim from Dummies of Horror has given it 4. Rob even gave it 3.5. Look at that.
Yeah, wow. I was gonna say it's one of the few that Rob actually likes that I like. I think I gave it 4.5.
Yeah, you know, now that we're talking about it, this would be in my top 10 right now too if I was to do a list off of. I think when I said what I said at the beginning, I was thinking of as the year continues. Because I'm just hopeful that other better things are going to come out. But
Yes.
now that we're talking about it, yeah, I could see this being my number 10 or 9 right now. I did think it was a really solid film. Really good, really well done. I recommend people check it out. Though I don't know, besides borrowing it from a friend, if it's available anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think it is just yet. Yeah, not even on Letterboxd. It doesn't even say where it's available yet. So it's probably going to still be a little bit before it comes to streaming. But when it does, I highly recommend this one.
Yeah, me too. Definitely check it out. Now, this next, oh wait, no, the next one is Me.
Yes, I have not seen this one.
So this is an independent film with a little bit of money. It was in a bunch of film festivals. Let's see here. It was, I don't know, you can't read them, but they were in a bunch of them. It's a dark sky film, which they're hit or miss with the stuff that they pick up as a production company. A couple returning from their engagement party must escape from a seamless, endless forested back road, causing them to lose their grip on reality, and a killer hunting them from the surrounding woods. This was very interesting and kind of reminded me of the movie Dead End in the sense of the premise.
Okay.
Right? Like stuck at a road in the middle of nowhere, everything just keeps looping and you don't understand why. And of course, the couple is exploring their relationship and the struggles ahead. I thought it was interesting. I liked the concept behind it. I thought that it was simplistic to make as a low budget film, which I always appreciate when low budget producers don't just go to the kind of like low hanging fruit of shitty found footage or a shitty film that has really cheesy special effects like we see with some of the unlicensed character films, but they take the step to do something a little more original, and a little more using the idea of like, what if you were lost on a road that was looping again and again and you could not get out of it and you start to lose connection with reality. So
That sounds interesting.
yeah, it is interesting. I think you should watch it. I think the dynamic between the husband and the wife are interesting. Like, I don't know if this is going to be anybody's top 10, but did I think it was a well-made film that came out this year? Yeah, like I watched it back in January and I can still clearly remember what happened. So that tells you,
Yeah, so that says
right?
a lot.
Right? So currently this is available on the Google, YouTube, Apple TV, Microsoft Store, and I don't know what XUMO Play US is, but I'm assuming it's a new streaming service.
Huh. Yeah, I never heard of that one.
Yeah, me neither. So if you want to rent this, I would say if what I'm saying sounds like something you would enjoy, any rental price is worth it. It's a 94-minute runtime. It's, the average rating is 3.0, which I think is fair. I don't think just their friends rated this. Like, I think that actually other people watched this and went on and gave it some feedback. Tim Walker gave it 3.5 stars. Sander Kane is the only one who wants to watch it at this point because clearly Rob and Tim are not the premium podcaster I am.
No, definitely
and haven't taken the step to watch it. But yeah, I would say check it out, Scotty, if you get a chance to. I think it would be great for you to watch at work.
Okay, perfect. Was this a found footage one? Because you did say
no, it's not found footage,
Okay.
and that's what I appreciate about it is that they didn't take the low hanging fruit of doing found footage.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right,
Yeah,
like they took that step up, but still not doing too much, so the budget wasn't blown.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I guess I could jump into the next this
Yeah, that's one.
this
Yeah.
little gem. This is the most recent movie that I watched. I think I watched it like 2 or 3 nights ago. It is called Monster on a Plane with an 88-minute runtime. The synopsis is, yeah, I say nice, short, and sweet. An exotic animal turns into a monster and becomes a deadly danger for all passengers. That is the synopsis. One sentence. This, have you wanted to see snakes on the plane, but wanted a reject from the Critters movies?
Fuck yeah, I do.
Well, then you're in luck. This is one of those, definitely everybody knew what type of movie they were filming and just rolled with it. It is so dumb. The acting is very wooden, but I almost felt like it was on purpose. But yeah, the monster design looks like a critter from Critter Reject, which freaking had me laughing my ass off. And it's basically just a dumb B movie where this monster is running amok on a plane, just killing people randomly. making them hallucinate, and there's a reason why it's making them hallucinate that I'll just leave because it just made me laugh like a fool. Um, but it's not definitely not for everyone. Go in expecting a bad movie, and you should be in. You should have find some enjoyment out of this because yeah, it's not taking itself seriously. It does feel like there are like 20 different storylines going on at one point, and but all in all, I had a fucking blast with it. It's not amazing, but I watched it and went, okay, this is dumb, but this is so much fun. I kind of want to recommend it to people that love just like the silly B movie style monster movies.
Fuck yeah, is it on Tubi?
Uh, no, this one is available on, well, for one, a good friend of ours on Plex. Then it's available on Apple TV, Google Play, YouTube, Fandango at home, and Spectrum on demand.
Okay. So if you like that cheesy kind of vibe, it's
Yeah,
worth it.
yeah, I'd
Right?
say it's a silly, dumb monster movie, and yeah, it goes by quick. You won't hate most likely won't hate your time with it. Erica, she was not a big fan. She tuned out halfway through.
I get that. I get that. I like how we both skipped over Into the Deep. That also makes me laugh too.
Into the
Did you
deep.
watch the shark one?
Oh yeah, I stopped. I didn't even finish that movie.
Oh, well, that was good life choices you made right there. So the next one I'm going to talk about is Bloody Axe Wound. This is also a release on Shudder. High school can be a killer. Abby Bladecut, yes, that's her name,
Yes,
is
it
a
is.
teenage torn between is that
Macabre.
Yeah, I think so. Tradition of her family's bloody trade and the tender stirring of her first crush. In the small town of Clover Falls, which is also a little bit of a, if you know kind of tie in.
Yeah,
Abby's father, Roger, has built an infamous legacy by capturing real life killings on tape and selling them to eager customers. But as Abby divulges deeper into the grisly family business, she begins to wonder if it's time to take the family tradition in a new direction. This movie thought it was very smart. Did you see this movie?
I did. This was early on. I didn't remember much of it,
Mm-hmm.
but now certain pieces are coming together. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's not bad. Here's the thing. I think that this movie will be very liked by some people. And I think that the concept behind it was great. I think it was clever. I think it was fun. It kind of reminded me of the one that we really liked a couple of years ago about the video store guy. It was based out of like a video store and it had like it kind of was a satire on horror stuff.
oh,
I can't
uh,
remember exactly what it was
yeah, the
called.
anthology.
Yeah,
God dang it! Yeah, yeah, I can't
I
remember what
know.
the hell that was called now.
That's because we've seen too many movies.
Yeah.
But it reminded me a lot of that, or The Blackening that came out last year.
Yes.
But I think The Blackening was funnier for me personally. I thought this was okay. Like, I think the 3.5 stars that Sandra Kane is given, 3 stars that Matt Wood has given, 3 stars that Rob has given, 3 stars that you have given. I would say I gave it the same. Like, it wasn't horrible or anything like that. I don't know. I just didn't really get into it. I was kind of
Yeah.
like, okay. Like, I don't hate you, you 83-minute runtime. Thank God you're 83 minutes. Thank you for knowing how long this movie should be. But it was, I don't know. If you guys Shudder, watch it. But otherwise, I wouldn't overly pursue it.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Like I thought it was just fine. Like it was an easy watch. But yeah, definitely very predictable with where it ends up going. And but yeah, I couldn't relate with any of the characters. I did really like the beginning stuff where it was showing the different
Mm-hmm.
videos that were being
Yeah.
played in theaters and stuff like that. I liked
Yeah.
the look and feel of that, and I'm going, okay, I'm on board. And then it kind of just became very generic after that. So it was fine, but it wasn't anything I will remember because I'm already struggling to remember it.
Right. It was middle of the road, but it's on Shudder. And if you're looking for something easy peasy to watch and you got the Shuddy, why not?
Yep, exactly.
Right.
And I guess we can jump on to the next one. Speaking of middle of the
Oh
road.
yeah. 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 Though I actually really liked this one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah, middle of the road for me. But
There.
this was another Shutter exclusive. I was looking forward to this one just because it has to do with wrestling and horror,
Hmm?
and it is called Dark Match. With a 94-minute runtime, a small-time wrestling company accepts a well-paying gig in a backwoods town only to learn too late that the community is run by a mysterious cult leader with devious plans for their match. This one stars Chris Jericho, and I'm trying to look up his name real quick. Stephen Ogg, who I freaking love. He is the voice actor for Trevor from GTA 5, and he's been in a
Mm,
lot of stuff, and he's a really good actor. And all in all, the wrestling was fun. It was a bit slow going once they actually got to like the main area, like where the setting was going to be
mm,
taking place, and kind of like built on characters. But I couldn't stand the main character and the way she acted towards her quote unquote boyfriend, quote unquote
mm.
not boyfriend, quote unquote. Oh, now you're my boyfriend. Oh, now I'm jealous because you're talking to someone else. Okay.
Yeah.
But I will say Stephen Ogg as we're trying to zoom in so I can see his name. Mean
Mean
Jolene.
Jolene. Yeah.
I really liked him a lot, and actually, he was my favorite character in this entire movie because you actually felt for him because he was trying to be a good person and do what he could to like kind of be the hero in the
Yeah.
show.
I would agree. He was kind of the affable one.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, like the wrestling itself was not bad, especially from people that were I don't think really wrestlers.
Yeah.
I thought some of the moves were like fairly realistic. And yeah, there were some gory scenes, but yeah, something with this movie just didn't really connect with me.
Yeah, I felt like I was watching ECW only toned down from.
Yes.
I was waiting for Paul Heyman to come out and like with his ponytail, and we were gonna go back in time. Tim should get that.
I get that.
Sandman shows up. Like I'll be honest, I found it incredibly entertaining. It was, as Tim Davis said, a low budget horror movie about wrestling and the occult, and I watched it for what it was. I would agree with him 110%. I found the main chick annoying and like kind of a bitch,
Hmm.
and I didn't really quite get her deal. Steve Ogg, I think, was the highlight, and Chris Jericho was, for his role, he was fine. Like he
Yeah.
was, I felt like I was watching a wrestling plot line to the extreme, right?
Yes. That is 100%
Um,
accurate.
like, and for that reason, it was definitely a guilty pleasure. Would I watch it again? Yeah, probably. If I was like sick or tired or not having a great day, I probably would throw it on because it's simple. Like I can watch some wrestlers fight to the death.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
right, like it's entertaining for me. But I think this movie was definitely for people who remember ECW and like low budget wrestling shit and horror. Like I think there is a niche group of people that will like this film.
Yeah.
And that's
Because I mean,
okay. That's okay.
because I will say they did kind of pull off the whole underground indie wrestling
Yeah.
company trying to make a name for themselves by going to this big event and the way it played out. Like it did feel like how most of these wrestlers get started and get into like the big event stuff like WWE and all that.
Yeah.
Like the work
Yes.
they have to do, the traveling
Yes.
they have to do, and all that.
Yes. And I would say that if I was to recommend this film to someone, I would be like, do you like wrestling a lot? And if they're like, I like WWE, I'm like, but do you like real wrestling? Like indie? Like, did you watch ECW back in the day?
Exactly.
Have you gone to your local wrestling shows? And if they were like, yeah, I'd be like, then this is a movie for you.
Yep.
That's how niche I think this is.
Oh yeah.
Personally.
I'll say it's definitely that niche market of horror fandom because I mean horror and wrestling kind of go hand in hand a lot, and yeah, I think you just got to be more into the understanding of what it's like when you're looking at the indie scene of
Yeah.
wrestling.
This is a movie where I would say indie wrestling interests first, then horror. Like I
Yes.
would not recommend this to the ladies over at the Slumber Party Massacre podcast.
Right.
Right? They'd be like, what the fuck is this? I already say that a lot when I bring things to the table. But or nor would I show my friend who likes WWE wrestling.
Yeah.
Like I think she might find it okay, but I think that this is truly a love letter to true indie, and we all know the people we're talking about for those of us who have been to an indie match before. It's for those folks.
Yep, completely
It's for
agree.
the wrestling nerd horror convention folks that come together and know all the B films and the indie wrestling. It's for that little group of misfits that Scott and I dance our toes into. It's for them.
Exactly.
So So if that sounds like something you would like, it is on Shudder. If not, I would say you don't have to watch this movie.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same because like I did give it only 2.5 stars, but just because I just felt like the pacing was a bit off.
Guilty pleasure, 4 stars for me.
Oh wow,
Yeah, because I
nice.
liked it. I liked the indie wrestling feel to it, right? It made my little Heather Hart happy because I'm also a misfit from misfit wrestling and horror movie land. But practical movie at entertainment, 2.5 is a very fair rating, Scotty.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, but that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
But I
so
liked it more than this next one. I did not like this movie. I thought it was boring as fuck. So I'm really interested to see what
what?
you say. Yes, I didn't. I thought it was boring. I fucking hated the two characters.
Whoa!
Yeah, I fucking couldn't stand it. I know. Plot twist.
Holy shit! Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
the movie Heather is talking about is actually my number one of the year so far, and that is The Gorge, directed by Scott Derrickson, 127-minute runtime, and it is two highly trained operatives grow close from a distance after being sent to guard opposite sides of a mysterious gorge. When an evil below emerges, they must work together to survive what lies within. This one is on Apple TV, I believe, is where it was available. But yeah, I fucking love this movie. Like, I loved Anya Taylor-Joy and what's his name, Miles Teller. I thought their chemistry together was amazing. Like, kind of, I think they are definitely in the running for best relationship in a horror type situation. I just loved how they connected. It actually kind of gave me the way they were communicating back and forth and like playing games by using like their whiteboard and kind of looking at the binoculars. Kind of gave me vibes of the small scene in Dawn of the Dead remake where the two survivors are on the rooftop just because they can't get to each other, so they're talking through signs and playing games and trying to get to know each other. It kind of gave me that vibe. And then when the actual sci-fi horror part of this starts to happen, the mystery of what is in the gorge really had me curious. And when they finally get down there, I found it to be just this like horrific style and setting and some really awesome CGI and practical effects. Some really cool creatures. Like I loved everything about this. The budget, there was a huge budget behind this. The setting, like where it was set, was beautiful. And yeah, like I fell in love with these characters. Like I think that is what sold this movie for me is I could have watched those two characters interacting without the gorge part and been completely fucking happy.
I'm happy for you. No, I
Wow.
am. Here's the thing. This isn't a bad film. Like I can objectively be like, absolutely, Scott. The acting in this was good. The money put into it was good. You know, the whole buildup is good. I did feel like they kind of gave the gig up really early on to something that happens to one of the other characters. You know what I'm talking
Yes.
about? Like
Yeah.
I thought it was like, come on, like you couldn't have. Like I get it. You know, it has to build and move the plot along. Um, but it just wasn't for me. Honestly, I could have cared less what happened to these two. I could have found the gorge and I
Wow.
could have cared the first 15 minutes in, and I would have been happy that it was over with.
Damn.
But I that's my own personal take on it, and you know me.
Right.
I totally like. I read these 4.5, 5 star, and I'm not. What the fuck do you see? I'm not that person. I have more emotional maturity than that. And I can just be like, hey man, like if you it dug it and it worked for you, that's awesome. Not all
Yeah, see,
movies work for all people, right?
yeah, the reason I'm acting so surprised is because I actually thought you would have loved this.
You know, I don't know if maybe I watched it on the wrong day. Maybe if I rewatch it at the end of the year, I'll feel differently, and I may do that. You know, I've had some life events occur
Yeah.
that can affect how you're feeling
Oh, for
the
sure.
day or whatever, right? But I will definitely say this is a high quality film. And I think everyone should watch it because, you know, even though I do see people like me and Rob that give it 2.5 stars, because that's probably if I, by fair rating to my enjoyment, I would give it 2.5 stars. Like I don't, you know, I think the two leads in it and the acting quality is there that I can't take away from that. But I get why Tim, you know, for example, gave it 4 and Matt gave it 4 and you gave it 4.5. Like I get that. It just wasn't that for me.
Yeah. Nope, I get
And I
that.
don't know, maybe later on, but I definitely think everyone should watch it. Like it's on Apple TV, and I think if you know there's a way that you can watch it, you should watch it if you have Apple TV, or you can go onto Apple to kind of rent it, like do it. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I'm like, since I say this is like my number one, there's two movies that are tied for my number one. This and another one we'll be talking about later. But yeah, there's a reason why it just connected with me. But I will say, yeah, worth every penny if you have to rent it or buy it or something like that. I think it at
Mhm.
least is worth that.
Yeah, like I think it's worth watching. It's as it like just because it wasn't for me doesn't mean it's not a good movie. Like
Right.
it just didn't do it for me. But who knows? Maybe I'll rewatch it later this year and I'll feel differently. You never know,
Yeah,
right?
I'll say it's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah. The next one though was also I don't know. Was this a fucking Blumhouse film? This must have been a Blumhouse film, right?
I think it was.
Oh fuck me. Wolfman 2025. Did you watch it?
I did.
Ah, yes, okay. Protect Your Own. With his marriage fraying, Blake persuades his wife, Charlotte, to take a break from the city and visit his remote childhood home in rural Oregon. As they arrive at the farmhouse in the dead of night, they are attacked by an unseen animal and barricade themselves in the home as the creature prowls the perimeter. But as the night stretches on, Blake begins to behave strangely, transforming into something unrecognizable. I don't know. What did you think?
Eh, I
Mm.
just thought this was very meh. I didn't care for any of the characters. Which, you don't have to care for the characters
Mm-hmm.
to make a movie good, but I didn't care what happened to any of them. I thought some of their decisions were very dumb throughout this movie. It also felt like it was missing like the first act, and it was just like immediately just jumped into the second and third act. And when did a werewolf bite slash scratch make you transform so damn quickly? Because I remember that usually takes till the full moon, and like it kind of takes a while, and it didn't feel like a werewolf movie to me. It
I think it's because it was a movie representing something else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say I did like the aspect of this where it focused on the more body horror elements of what it's like to transform into a
Yes.
werewolf and seeing through the eyes of the person that is transforming, and kind of like hearing what they're hearing as they're kind of turning into this beast. But yeah, it didn't connect with me, which is a bummer because it's Lee Winnell who did The Invisible Man, and I fucking love The Invisible Man. And just was missing something that I just could not connect with it. I know Tim Davis loved it, but yeah, this one it just didn't feel like a Wolfman movie to me.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm middle of the road. I enjoyed it for what it was. I was entertained. I did like the characters. I did feel bad for the family. Um, spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Obviously, there's dealing with domestic violence here. It's an underlying theme. How there's two sometimes people inside of us.
Yep.
I thought that was done well. I don't think it was in your face. I don't, but I don't get mad when messages are in my face. Domestic violence is a problem. Raping women are problems. Killing people that are different than hetero straight white people, they're problems. Like there's certain things that happen in this world when you see them in a movie. I'm like, well, that's what's happening, right? But I
Right.
didn't think this was heavy-handed. I don't think so anyway. I thought it was entertaining. Do I think it was like, oh man, I can't wait to go back and watch it again? No, but if it was again, if I was having a rough day or not feeling good, would I throw it on? Yeah, it's an easy watch. Like it's easy. Paint
Yeah.
by numbers plot.
Yeah,
You
this
know,
one
I
like I would say I'd rewatch it if it was on TV. It's not like I hated it. It was just kind of
yeah.
like I was disappointed.
Yeah. Like I think if you were expecting a really solid Wolfman movie that got to you, but I will say I did like that it was filmed at night. I did like how dark it was. I did like the portrayal of the man who's been infected. I did like it enough, but definitely if I look at werewolf movies, I don't know if it would be a top werewolf movie for me, but I'm not a werewolf. Like I'm not as into it as you and Tim are, right? Like I'm medium
Yeah.
werewolf movies. Like I like ginger snaps, but I don't lay on the sword that is ginger snaps, right?
Right.
Like dog soldiers. I like dog soldiers, but I don't lay on the sword that is dog soldiers, right? So like it's, I enjoyed it for what it was. Very much Blumhouse, very much run of the mill, what you would expect from a theatrical release for the general public, with a little bit of a political message sewed in there.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
typical Blumhouse movie. I don't know, 102 minutes was a little long. I think they could have cut that shit down a bit, but
Yeah, and I agree with that because like it did feel a bit long in the tooth. But yeah, like it was just fine. It just was like I was hoping for something so much more, and yeah, it was just fine. Like I would
And where is
recommend
it?
people watch it. Yeah, it's available to rent on Apple TV, Google Play, Fandango, Microsoft Store, and YouTube right now.
Yeah, so yeah, if it's your thing, it sounds like something you'd be interested in, check it out. Now we have to talk about the big ones here.
Oh, they're so huge.
So I'm just lumped them all together because they're interchangeable. Piglet, I Love Willie,
Yep.
Popeye's Revenge, The Mouse of Horrors. Popeye the Slayer Man is probably my favorite title, actually, to be honest with you.
Uh-huh.
And Goldilocks and the Three Bears, Death and Porridge, aka we stole our masks from the Purge and tried to do our version of The Strangers, but shittier, with our friends that I've never acted before. All of these had varying degrees of budgets to them. Some had more, but The Mouse of Horrors was just like a bunch of people running around a carnival for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, that is one I ended up avoiding because even Nudie, who loves some of the low budget stuff like this, he was like, this one was bad. This one was really bad. So when he said that, I'm going, I might want to avoid it then.
So I was finishing it off, and George saw some of it, and he thought it was hilarious. Some of the kills were really funny. But I would say out of all of them, the two Popeye ones were actually the ones I enjoyed the most.
Oh, really? See,
Yeah.
I liked, I've only, the ones that you mentioned here, I started Piglet. I just couldn't finish it. I watched I Love Willie and Popeye's Revenge. I actually liked I Love Willie the most. Popeye's Revenge, oh god, that one was so just like it felt like they went, hey, let's get a slasher villain like Jason Voorhees. Let's make a slasher movie. Oh shit, a Popeye license just came up. Hey, let's add Popeye to the license because he doesn't talk, which is kind of like Popeye's thing. Doesn't show him eat spinach besides the scene where he throws a can of spinach through a window that's empty. And they use the name Olive Oil for a character. That was and the big forearms. That was all there really
And
was.
he does say, oh no, he doesn't. That's Popeye the Slayer Man, where he says, I am what I am.
Yeah, Popeye the Slayer Man is the one I want to see because it definitely feels more like actual using of Popeye correctly in the horror movie sense.
Yes. There's also a guest appearance from a character from the Popeye comic book strips that unless you have actually like familiar with the Popeye story, you wouldn't get it.
Oh wow.
So we'll see if you catch it. It's quick.
Okay. Yeah, because this is
quick,
one I
pretty
still
funny.
want to see.
I enjoyed both. I would agree that Popeye the Slayer Man is better. Now again, when we use that statement there, we're comparing them. And in The Mouse of Horrors, Woody the Pooh was in it. So was Piglet. Because this guy has created all of them, by the way. He's a mad scientist that created. I kind of tried to go from like the first Blood and Honey and the second Blood and Honey, like the idea of like experiments gone bad, right? So it kind of built on that. I'll give The Mouse of Horrors credit for that, and I am a sucker for carnival movies. I do enjoy them, right? But yeah, they're all not great. So they're all available though on Tubi, and if for some reason you want to indulge and you can like really go into these knowing they're stupid, like if you're someone that's going to get annoyed by it, then don't watch them. Like that's okay, you don't have to. But if you can go in and just be like, this is so cheesy and funny and that brings you joy, then watch them. They're fucking entertaining for that purpose. But if that is not your thing, do not waste your time with any of these. Because none of them are going to be like overly redeeming. If like just go watch Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare.
Right.
And you'll probably be no less unhappy than you are in your daily experience. So
Yeah, because I was gonna say there's a few of these I still plan on watching because it's becoming such a thing. We are gonna have a public domain horror movie award at the end of the year. So I'm trying to watch many of them as I can to see
well,
which
I'm
one
gonna have a
stands
lot to say
best.
about that award.
Oh, I know you
So
are.
I may even do my pretend top 10 and have some of these on there because
I mean, you are a sucker for these movies.
I do. I think they're hilarious. Like I just think they're so funny, and the acting, like the Goldilocks and Three Bears Death and Porridge was just ridiculous. Like this was obviously friends that had like a fucking couple of cams and a drone, and they decided to make a movie. Like it was pretty bad, but hey, you know what? If they had a good time, fuck, who cares? Like
Right, exactly.
you know what I mean? Like, hey man, rock on. It's just I get tired when people watch these movies and then they're like, "Oh, they were shit." No fucking kidding, huh? Were
That
you
was the
born
point.
yesterday? At what point did you think it was going to be good, right? Like, so only watch it if you enjoy this kind of stuff, you think it's cheesy or you enjoy cheesy dumb films like this, watch it. If you don't, then skip over it. You won't be disappointed in life if you do.
Exactly. And one that we'll jump on to the next one, which was
Yep.
definitely one of the bigger movies of the year. And kind of gives you a little bit of a 90s slasher nostalgia, and that was Heart Eyes. It's got a 97-minute runtime. No couple is safe. When the Heart Eyes killer strikes Seattle, a pair of coworkers pulling overtime on Valentine's Day are mistaken for a couple by the elusive couple hunting killer. Now they must spend the most romantic night of the year running for their lives. So yes, this is a Valentine's Day slasher, so another one that we can add to that list for when you're wanting to watch a horror movie during the holidays. This one kind of felt like a Hallmark movie meets I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream, if
That's a
that
good way
makes
to
sense.
describe it. Yeah.
Because there's that will they or won't they, two strangers meeting awkwardly and kind of finding out they're of differing levels of power in this company that work together, and oh, will they get together? Who knows? Oh my god, I hope they do. Oh, there's the killer now.
But I feel like they knew, like they were making fun of that formula
Oh,
though.
they definitely were.
And I like, there's a part I knew I was gonna like the movie because they're in this coffee shop that's supposed to be a Starbucks, but not a Starbucks. And they order this like really complicated drink. And they both do. And they both think the one drink is their drink. And they have this awkward conversation. And they're like, how common is that? And the barista goes, it's quite common. Can you take your drinks and go now, please? I'm like, this is a movie for me. This is a Heather film because that shit's funny. Or the couple at the beginning trying to get the picture of the engagement happening.
Oh yes, yes,
Like,
I forgot about that
yeah.
scene. Because this is one I
So
did watch a while ago, so I'm a bit
yeah.
rusty on certain things. But yeah, this definitely had some very funny moments to it, some very cutesy moments to it, and some shockingly good gore for the kills too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
Like the reveal of the killer was a bit lame, I thought, but it still didn't take away from the enjoyment I had with this movie. It kind of gave me that feeling of what was it? It's a Wonderful Knife from last year or the year before that,
Yeah.
where it's just
Yeah.
like it's not a great slasher, but it's not a bad slasher, and definitely one I would revisit during the holiday. Like
So I
it's
gotta say, I love that Devin Swawa and Joanna Brewster was in this film.
oh,
I
yeah.
find the detectives.
I forgot about that too. Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't forget about one of them,
Well, yeah.
right? But it was. I don't know. I thought this was easy, palatable movie to watch. Nothing super fancy. Will I watch it on Valentine's Day? Fuck yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah, and I what was it? Definitely has one of the more memorable kills too towards the end of the movie, which might be an award later on.
I would agree with you. I would agree. So yeah, I don't know. I think if you haven't seen this one yet, it is a must watch of the year. I for some people this may be in their top 10, you know. If I
Yeah.
was to do a top 10 now, yeah, it would be on there out of the 37 films I've watched, again, to clarify. But did I enjoy it? Fuck yeah, I did. Fuck yeah, I did. I thought it was fun. I thought it was easy. I went to the theater. There was a lot of people in the theater to see it.
Which is awesome.
Which is awesome. So, you know, it definitely appealed to a broader audience, which is great. So it's on all the services: Apple TV, Google Play, Cineplex here in Canada, Amazon, YouTube. Sorry. Yeah, rent it, check it out.
Yeah, I
right?
say this is definitely worth the rental. Yeah, you won't hate it, and yeah, I think I could see this being in like Lacey's top 10.
Yeah,
I think if I know she's watched it and I can't remember her thoughts, but I would not be surprised if it's in her top 10 because it's
yeah,
definitely her style of movie.
and it's fun, you know.
Yeah,
Sometimes fun and fluffy is just it's good times.
yeah, I'll say like I did not hate my time with it, and will definitely be one I'll revisit for sure. And the next one, this is the one that is in competition for my number one spot right now, and that is Companion. A billionaire's death sets off a chain of events for Iris and her friends during a weekend trip to his lakeside estate. That is a weird synopsis, actually. Billionaire's death. But anyways, so this is basically.
Oh, well, it's true,
Oh, yeah, yeah, I
right?
guess. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. That's kind
No
of a.
spoilers. Like that actually does kind of send off the movie without giving the major spoilers,
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
right?
I was just saying, just kind of a weird synopsis to kind of
It
get you to
is.
watch it.
Yeah.
But this stars, let's see, Sophie
Sophie,
Thatcher. Yep, Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid and Lucas Gage and Harvey Gillian, I think his name is, but he plays
always great to
Guillermo.
see him.
Yeah,
Always great to see him.
but yeah, the acting in this is incredible, and I have to say, I had only known Jack Quaid for a while there as the character in The Boys, and in The Boys, he's just this lovable, unfortunate kid that gets involved with this shit, and you just can't take him seriously. But holy shit, does Jack Quaid show some range? Because he is a really good actor and can be a complete fucking dick too. Um, but Sophie Thatcher in this steals the fucking show because this is basically people should know if they've watched the trailer, but this is basically about an AI robot. Add to our AI is scary theme for
Mm-hmm.
our awards, but she's basically a sex bot and literally a love companion for a certain character, and it's very futuristic, but the acting in this is amazing. The sequences of events that happened in this kept me guessing what was going to happen. There was a lot of twists and turns. There was some pretty damn good gore and action set pieces. And I literally, in the beginning, felt for a lot of these characters. And then
Yes.
after a while, I went, no, all you all are assholes. Like it had
Yeah.
me kind of going back and
Yeah.
forth. Like I said, kept me guessing. And yeah, I found this movie to be phenomenal. This is one of those you go girl movies. Like I'm totally behind Sophie Thatcher's character the entire time. Like,
Yes.
but it's what did Tim Davis say in his review? Or is it?
Was he like, where can I get one?
Oh, he goes, about damn time we get a decent Terminator movie. I'm like, yeah. Because yeah, this basically is like a modern day style of Terminator in a way, and it's fucking awesome.
I would agree. I thought this movie was really smart, and the AI is going in this direction.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it'd be great because women have been pleasuring themselves with electronics for years, so it's nice that men are going to get a chance to do the same. Right? I actually saw a video about a guy being like, soon there's going to be AI sex box ladies and you won't be needed anymore. I'm like, well, more than likely, I feel as though if you're making a video like that, pickings have been slim for you, my friend.
Yep.
So I feel as though the ladies that you could be servicing have found another way to service themselves with someone else or a dildo. And I think they're doing just fine with the vibrator. Hopefully you enjoy yours as well. I actually think it's not a bad idea. An AI sex bot? I think it's great. Why not?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's especially with how realistic things are becoming with
yeah.
the AI.
Yeah, like, and if you really struggle with making a person-to-person connection, like, there's some people out there they really do struggle. You know, why not?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know. I'm more AI. I'm like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, sounds great, right? Like, I really liked this movie for the concept because I do think it was the most realistic AI that I've seen in a while. And
Yeah, it's definitely the best portrayal of AI in a horror movie instead of
yeah,
smart home going to kill you now. Bye bye.
yeah, 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 right. And Sophie Thatcher is fast becoming one of my preferred actresses. I think
Yes.
she's a very good actress, and I've liked her in everything I've seen. And I agree, she could be up for an award again this year. She just really has the ability for you to kind of get behind her as a character. Yeah, it's good. Definitely a must watch. Definitely a must
Yeah.
watch for this year.
Yeah, like this is like I said, fighting for my number one spot. I'll probably have to rewatch this in the Gorge at the end of the year to see where they both place. But I fucking love both of them, and they have both just for once serious movies are fighting for my top spot where before it'd be like some silly schlocky horror film. So
Well,
that's saying something.
Terrifier hasn't come out yet. Let's hold up before
Well,
we get too excited.
Terrifier 4 is not coming out this year. That's in 2026. So I'm good.
So I got 1 year where I don't have to listen to you talk about Terrifier.
I'm sure I'll bring up Terrifier some other way. Don't you worry.
Don't you worry, Heather. Have you seen this next one?
No, this one I've been curious to hear your thoughts on it because I hear it's a very interesting. Like I'm not sure if people like it or not.
Yeah, this movie's very different. A couple, Rebecca, so it's Presence. A couple, Rebecca and Chris and their children, Tyler and Chloe, move into a seemingly normal suburban home. When strange occurrences occur, they begin to believe there's something else in the house with them, and the presence is about to disrupt their lives in unimaginable ways. This is a very, very interesting film. It's an 84-minute runtime, and it starts off being very unique. And I'll put it this way, because it's something that you figure out in the first 30 seconds. It's filmed from the ghost's perspective.
Okay.
So where other haunted houses movies are filmed, generally speaking, from the person's perspective, this is filmed from the entity's perspective.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you're spending a lot of this movie trying to figure out who the entity is. There's a time loop thing that I don't overly get. To be honest, I'm a little confused on how one person can be several things, but that being said, I think it's a very, very well done film. I think it's unique. Definitely one of the more unique films I've seen. Probably would continue to be in my top 5 at the end of the year if it wasn't for my questioning about how does the ending make sense. But it's definitely a must watch, Scotty. I would definitely recommend that you see it.
Yeah, that has me intrigued now because I did not know it was from the entity's perspective. That's
Yeah, and that's not a spoiler. That happens in the first 30 seconds. Like you literally turn on the movie and it's clear that it's a ghost film because you know what the name of the fucking film is.
right.
I don't know, you'd have to have never seen a horror movie before in your fucking life to not get that. And then you can tell.
I thought it was about Christmas presents.
Right, right. And then you can tell with what's happening that it's from the entity's viewpoint, which makes it almost like found footage, but not.
Yeah,
it's filmed like a found footage, but it's not a found footage.
I was saying I got to give props for that. Like even though I make fun of Skinamarink and the Outwaters and a couple other ones, like these different perspectives is definitely kind of becoming a trend. But when it's done right, it can be very interesting.
Yeah, and I would say this is done right. It's worth the rental. I'm not going to go much more into it besides that because I think that you need to watch it to see. It is available on Apple TV, Google Play, Plex, because there is a renting service on Plex, Amazon, and Cineplex. I think if you like haunted houses and ghost movies, this is worth whatever cost it is. Rob the Hum gave it 3.5 stars. Dave Bailey gave it 3.5 stars. I don't think Tim has watched it yet. I'd be interested to hear his thoughts on it. So yeah, I would definitely recommend watching this before the end of the year.
All right,
and
awesome.
I would watch it. I think Erica may find it interesting too.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, that's the one I'll try to watch with her at some point then. So I'll jump on to the next one.
Sounds good.
This is the first movie I watched of 2025, so I may be a bit rusty in my memories with it, but it was a Shudder exclusive. It's called Getaway. A family's vacation to a remote getaway takes an unexpected turn when they discover the island they're on is inhabited by a serial killer. And this stars Nick Frost, so it's definitely a British horror comedy, and it's kind of like Wicker Man meets Get Out in a way, just without the racial intentions.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but I've been to the UK, and
what?
there's a lot of British jokes in this. Like there's a lot of British traveler tourist jokes in this.
Yes.
That I don't know if I would have got if I hadn't been there. I don't know, maybe you got all of them and you're just smarter than me, but like some
I
of them
got a
I
few of
laughed
them, but
because I'm like, oh yeah, I get why they're making it. But it's basically like instead of dumb Americans traveling, it's dumb British travelers.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you would watch this one or not because I had to add this to the list. I didn't see it on the list, so
Oh yes, I didn't add it because I didn't like it that much.
okay. See, I had fun with this one. I thought it was very silly. Didn't see like I did see the kind of the twist that the main twist happened, but then like there's a secondary twist that happens that I didn't catch. But I just love Nick Frost in almost anything he's in. He's just freaking hilarious, and he definitely knows his horror tropes and how to play around with them for a horror because he produced this as well. So he definitely knows like the tropes and I think he also produced it and he wrote the screenplay. So yeah, he knows the horror tropes and how to play around with them and make them fun and silly and make stupid characters make stupid decisions. And like yeah, it just had that fish out of water feel to it when these touristy British people are just on this island and just being their overly eccentric ways and just driving these islanders crazy with how rude or upbeat they are depending on the what experience they have and the kids being assholes. But yeah, I just had a lot of fun with this, and when it gets to that third act and stuff ramps up, I was just giggling like a fool. Like it got so ridiculous and over the top, and I to this day I still joke with Erica and go, "Mommy, how are you doing?" Because how they always called each other
Oh
mommy and
yeah,
daddy.
Mummy and Daddy, and
Yeah,
yeah.
mommy, daddy, how are you doing? She does the same thing.
It is. I can sum this up. If you like Nick Frost and you like his comedy, you'll like this movie.
Yep,
But it's a lot of Nick Frost, so
and
you've
that is
got to
not a bad thing.
really like. Yeah, if you like Nick Frost,
Yeah,
right? I like Nick Frost, and I was medium of the road on this. I thought it was quick, easy to digest. I would always give the Claire like you gotta like Nick Frost. Like
yes.
if you don't like Nick Frost, and there's no Simon Pegg in this, so it's just Nick Frost, then you'll like it. But if you were like, man, I'm a little lukewarm on Nick Frost, don't watch this movie because you're gonna just be annoyed. If you like him, you're gonna have a great time.
Yep,
To
exactly.
me, that's like the simplest way to explain this film.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Because yeah, I'm definitely of the camp of I fucking love Nick Frost.
And this is on
um,
the Shuddy,
yeah,
right?
yep. It was the first Shutter release of the year too, if I remember correctly. Like
Yeah.
first came out.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I don't think I put the next one on here. And yes, you're right. It was the first Shutter release of the year. I realized I didn't include the details for the next one on here on my list. So I'm actually watched 138 one.
Oh wow.
I know.
Yeah, because it looks like you are the next one, two, three. Yeah, I think you are the next three movies. Are all
Yeah,
you.
because you haven't seen Control Freak, have you?
No, not yet.
Ah, yes. So Control Freak. Sorry.
I am gonna take a quick run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I can talk while you're gone.
Okay.
I will carry this choo-choo train on my own merit.
You are good at that. You always
Oh.
carry it on your shoulders.
You know, I'm just a hero. What can I
You
say?
are.
All right, you go ahead.
All right, I'll be right back.
So here we are, Control Freak. Let me open that bad boy and get to it. So Control Freak is, I believe, the first horror film from Hulu to hit us this year. It's also on Disney Plus. It's in your head. A motivational speaker plagued by an uncontrollable itch on her head becomes infected with a parasitic demon from her home land. So this movie is very interesting. Personally, I hate motivational speakers. I hate life coaches. I generally speaking dislike what they stand for. Now, I know that there's probably some good ones out there that can be very empowering for people, and I don't discredit that. There's some people out there that really enjoy it. But ones like this that are ridiculously rich off of, selling false prophecies, in my opinion, to people, I do have a beef with. But this movie is some great little body horror. You meet the character, you understand her journey to get to where she has got to, and she has this subtle itch on the back of her head that gets worse and worse and worse. And there's discussion of addictions in this film, and I really do feel like this film was based off the idea of addicting and controlling your lifestyle. And because this person is so controlled in what she eats and what she does and everything else, but she cannot control scratching the back of her head. It's a subtle thing that she's unable to kind of get a grip on. And I think, to me, that's what this film is based on. The idea of losing control. When you try to control everything, you end up controlling nothing. It's an easy watch at 104 minutes. And I think if you have Hulu or Disney Plus, there's some good gore to it. There's some interesting scenes that occur in it. But do I think it's something that you need to run out and watch if you don't have those two services? Not necessarily. But it is easygoing. It is smooth. It is a little bit of a predictable film, but it definitely takes care of any kind of horror itch that you may have to watch something with a little bit of body horror. So the only other review I have here is from Matt Wood. Talks about the metaphor of mental health and demons. You're right, Matt. Yeah, the cinematography is good and has a decent score and is well acted. I agree with him. That's, kind of the best thing. I do love how he gave it 5.5 itchy scalps out of 10. That is a great rating because there's a lot of scratching in this film. Scratchy. In terms of you, Scotty, I don't know. I think this would be an easy watch for you and Erica to put on one night to see.
This is Control Freak you're talking about, right?
Yeah, and we do a Hulu award, so you probably should watch it because...
Yes, because there's not a lot of them, for one.
Yes, and, you might want to come in and see that, so you're able to kind of show whatever. I don't know, maybe Hulu would do one other one this year. We never know, right? They tend not to always come out with a lot of stuff anymore.
Yeah, they tend to release a bunch during Halloween, but that's usually the majority of the time, where it comes from.
Right. So anyway, Hulu, Disney, that's where you can find that one, Disney Plus. The next one is a independent film, and it was held at a bunch of different film, I guess, what are they called? God.
Festivals?
Film festivals. Thank you. I'm like, film things. The House Was Not Hungry Then. This is a really interesting film. So this film is kind of based on the concept that a house is alive, but not cheesy. Not like the house is gonna eat you. Num, 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 num. It's just that people tend to disappear in this house subtly.
I'm trying to remember. I think I've seen the trailer to this. Is this the one where it's kind of almost filmed from the house's
perspective? Yes.
Yeah. Doesn't look interesting.
It doesn't?
It looks interesting.
Yes, it is. It is interesting. It is definitely, someone wrote here that it's art house. Oh, is it art house? This is art house. I think this is kind of, those who like Skinamarink are really going to love this shit.
Gotcha. Okay.
So there's people that had Skinamarink in their top 5. They will definitely like this movie. There's no doubt in my mind because it plays on a similar concept. Here's the thing. It's different. I enjoy it more than Skinamarink because I think it's easier to follow. They do a better job of presenting the house, the people that come into the house, the one character that is remaining in the house. And to me, that's what makes it good, but you got to like that kind of thing. This is a very slow movie. There is not a lot of dialogue. Do not watch this when you are sleepy.
Good to know.
You need to be awake and alert because not a lot happening. Well, there's a lot happening, but it's subtle.
Right.
And if you look away, you're going to miss it. Right? You can't be on your phone. You really do have to be focused. So if that is your kind of thing, it's not really available anywhere yet. We did see a screener. So I would say, keep it in your back pocket if this sounds like something that you would enjoy.
All right. Yeah, this one I've been curious about it, so I'll definitely be watching this.
And then the last one that's just me is Delicious. This is a Netflix film, and my letterbox has decided that it's going to, of course, not work at this moment, but I can talk about it offhand. It's fine. It's a 2025 release on Netflix, and it's about this well-off couple who has a house in France, I believe it is. It's a vacational home, and I can't remember what country they're from, but it goes back and forth between English being spoken and French, and I can't remember, Danish maybe, or German. It's something like that. But they use subtitles in it, but most of the time, because it's French people communicating with German folks, they are using English. This is a very good movie. Really? I can see this being in my top 20 of the year, definitely in terms of international films. will definitely be on that list. It takes a new approach to a known common horror trope, and I found the characters in it quite interesting. I definitely would encourage people to watch it if they like a lot of dialogue. The idea of two people from different income brackets. Like if you enjoyed the original Speak No Evil,
Yeah.
the original
Yeah, the good
Speak
one.
No Evil, then I will say that you'll probably enjoy Delicious. And if this gets picked up enough, I can see an American remake.
Okay.
If enough people liked this, like they like Speak No Evil, I can see a American remake.
Yeah, 'cause I have not even heard of this one.
Yeah, more gory, but very good. It has been awarded a couple of the Berlin International Film Festival. It did win for Best Feature Film, or sorry, it was nominated for Best Feature Film. It's a very, very solid film. I would recommend watching it.
Awesome. Okay, I'll have to jump on Netflix because that's one place I have not really looked yet is Netflix.
Well, they don't get a lot, right?
Yeah, especially right in the beginning. It usually takes like halfway through the year before they start. And we know how Netflix is. They never really promote their horror very well. You have to kind of dig for it.
You do, right? But I would definitely say it's good. I think you'll like it, Scott. And if people like it enough, we will see American remake in a couple of years.
Nice.
Yeah. If people like it enough, right?
Right.
And that remake will suck.
Yes. Yes, it will.
Still have James McAvoy in it again, which the guy kind of looks like James McAvoy. So I'm like, yes.
That'll
the writing's
happen.
on the wall for this one.
It's
right?
inevitable.
Inevitable.
So yeah, I guess we can jump into the one that I got to see in theater this year, and think you watched it as well, right? All right.
I
so
did.
Yeah, I'm using IMDb for the plot synopsis because Letterboxd is currently down, like you were saying. So this is The Monkey by God dang it, what's his freaking name?
Stephen King?
No, well, I mean, yeah, the story is a short story by Stephen King, directed by Osgood Perkins. That's it.
Yes, Osgood Perkins. Such an Osgood Perkins film, too.
And I was gonna say you gotta like Osgood Perkins films to kind of know what you're getting into. I am kind of hit or miss with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the synopsis of this one is when twin brothers Bill and Hal find their father's old monkey toy in the attic, a series of gruesome deaths start. The siblings decide to throw the toy away and move on with their lives, growing apart over the years. This Osgood Perkins took this Stephen King story, which I heard is just, kind of like a novella, and it's not really comedic, but he turned it into a comedy with a Osgood Perkins sense of humor to it. It's it's a very dry sense of humor.
Yes. Yes.
But I remember Eric and I going to see this in theater during our date day, and it was like the only movie I've seen this year in theaters so far. But I remember having a fun time with it. It was the humor definitely kind of threw me off a bit because it was not my style, but I found the sequences of events that happen around this monkey to be very Final Destination-ish. So of course that made me have a lot of fun with it. Thought the acting was really good. It was shot really well. But yeah, it's one of those where it's not amazing, but I still enjoyed my time with it. But you definitely got to be an Osgood Perkins fan, or at least know what you're getting into with a film of his.
I think you took the words right out of my mouth. This is an Osgood Perkins film, and and I liked it enough. I felt some parts of it. I was like, can we just get fucking on with it already?
Yes.
I found I enjoyed the ending the most.
Okay. Yep.
But good kills. He does get out of his actors what he wants to see. He is a unique director. I definitely think that this is his more mainstream movie that people will like. I do like I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House. I know you love Blackcoat's Daughter. Gretel and Hansel we saw together and we were both appreciated. I think you liked it more than I did.
But yeah, both of us still weren't like impressed by it.
No, we were like, this is an Osgood Perkins film. Long Legs I did enjoy last year.
Yeah, so did I.
But I think The Monkey is probably the easiest to watch. But yeah, I don't know.
And
It was enjoyable.
I was gonna say, and it says something because you are right about that. Because I think this was like the highest grossing horror film this year so far. Like it
Yeah.
did really, really well in theaters.
And it's easy to get behind. It's a simplistic plot that he takes and he doesn't overly complicate it. So yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was. Definitely I think it's a must watch. And I think it's on all areas to rent, isn't it? Like
I believe so. Kind of hard to tell now that we don't have our access to Letterbox at the moment since I decided to shit the bed.
I know. Well, I would say Google Play, Apple TV, Cineplex here in Canada. Like it's a mainstream film. You should be able to rent this anywhere. It's not like, some of these other kind of lower budget ones where we see a screener or whatever. Like this is going to be available anywhere to
Yeah.
rent at some
Oh
point,
yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
if
This
you
is
didn't
the
see it,
big movie of the year, or one of the big movies of the year.
yeah. Yeah, so if you didn't see it at some point, feel free to rent it. I think you may enjoy it.
Yep, I completely agree. I think it's at least worth the rental, worth watching, especially if
Yeah.
you're like us horror movie nerds. And
Yeah.
most horror movie nerds know who Osgood Perkins is and can appreciate what he does, or like at least respect it.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say Scott and I are huge fans, but he does make good movies.
Yes.
And he makes entertaining movies and he's very artistic. And yeah, they're always a pleasure for the eye. Let's put it that way.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And so yeah, you want to tackle the next one, and then you and I can talk about it.
Sure. The Parenting. This is a 2025 film. Meeting the Parents, it's a necessary evil. Boyfriends Josh and Rohan plan a weekend getaway to introduce their parents, only discover that their rental home is home to a 400-year-old poltergeist. This movie's really silly. I had a good chuckle with this film. There were a couple lines that stood out to me. One was like when the demon dad is being very like homophobic, and the kid's like, "All right, demon dad, that's enough for now." Right?
Yes.
That kind of made me laugh. Lisa Kudrow is in this film. I believe
Yeah,
it's Lisa Kudrow. Yeah.
Yeah, surprised to see her. It's been a long time since I've seen her in anything.
Right. The parents are all really funny. Parker Posey is in this, briefly, I believe.
Yep.
So she makes a nice little cameo. It's fun. Like it's an entertaining horror comedy. I liked it enough. I didn't like it as much as Tim Davis. I know Tim Davis liked it a lot. He gave it 4 stars. I
Yeah.
probably said around 3. Like I had a fun time with it. Like it was easy to watch. There were parts that made me laugh out loud. I liked the couple enough. I thought it was funny at parts. I thought it was, had a nice happy little ending, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like I thought it was very easy. It's definitely more of a comedy horror than horror comedy. Like the comedy definitely comes first because it's along the lines of Meet the Parents, Christmas Vacation, all that stuff where it's like your two families are coming together and it's this awkward situation because one side is rich, one side is more hippy dippy and less money. And with the whole gay couple thing too, and one being more accepting than the other. And it's very, just that awkward style. But at the same time, I found it all to be pretty damn funny. Brian Cox as the possessed father was fucking hilarious and disturbing at the same time.
Yeah, he was funny.
I know Rob absolutely hated this movie. And yeah, I gave it a 3.5. Like I thought I'm right there between you and Tim. I was laughing quite a bit at this. It had some really good moments to it. It's very easy. It's not like I said, not really scary. And just it flew by for me. Like Eric and I watched it and we were just kind of having a good chuckle out of it because we're like, oh, this is gonna be dumb. And it was, but in a good way.
Yeah, like it's entertaining. It's 94 minutes. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, despite what Rob thinks. But I don't know. Rob's kind of just a bitch. So like, Rob just doesn't like anything. He's just like a mopey little mope Rob. And I had a dream that him and I went on a nice date. He brought me flowers, and then when I told him, he ghosted me for a month. Like honestly, it wasn't even
What the
real.
hell, Rob?
Yeah. Like, what did I do wrong on our sleep date that didn't actually happen? Only in my dream. And Rob was all like, "Oh fuck, Heather, you weirdo! You like Final Destination. I don't like you." So.
And you tell me I don't have good taste. What the hell?
I know, right? But yeah, I would say watch this. It's on Crave in Canada, Max Amazon channel in the US, Max US. Yeah, if you have access to any of those, give it a watch. It's entertaining.
Yeah, because I think this one could pretty much be watched by anybody, whether you're a fan of horror or not. I think it's
Yeah,
just
I would
that.
agree.
I think it's just kind of like bridges that gap there.
Absolutely, it does.
But speaking of recommending, one I'm not going to recommend is called The Ruck March. Thankfully, only 53 minutes long. A desert endurance event turns ominous for two women and their fellow participants as they trek through the harsh, barren terrain. What began as a test of physical limits evolves into a harrowing struggle against unforeseen dangers. Should be more like devolves, but okay. Um, so this one is, like the endurance ruck march style where a bunch of people go kind of like backpacking across like dangerous terrain and just go for like 16 hours straight with, just some of those
Sounds
like
horrible. Sounds like
survive.
hashtag something I wouldn't do.
Yeah, exactly. But something
Ugh.
like those survivalist type like to do. So I was like, oh, this is an interesting concept, and it's found footage. Okay, so Erica like actually is one that seen it is like, let's throw this on. I knew we were in trouble about 10 minutes in when one of the people in the crowd of people doing the Bruck March was wearing a Tahoe Joe shirt. And if you remember from
Mm.
last year, me talking about the wonderful Bigfoot found footage films, Tahoe Joe 1 and 2, and how fucking awful they were. Yeah, once I realized that, I'm like, okay, this guy's wearing this shirt. I bet you this is the same fucking director that is doing this self promotion bullshit in his own movie. Looked it up, sure as shit. I'm like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? All right, let's let's keep going with this and see where it goes. And this 53 minutes felt like an hour and a half. The acting was awful. The characters were dumb. The worst character of all, shockingly enough, was the director himself, who was the main person running this ruck march. He was a complete and utter asshole and just was terrible. And yeah, it just devolved into something. It, it was something not
Not
good.
good. It was something not good, is what you're saying.
Yeah, this was this was epitome of waste of time and the worst movie I've seen this year. It was terrible, and unfortunately, it's the only found footage I've watched this year. And damn, I need to find some more found footage to kind of wash the nastiness of this one out of my mouth. So don't recommend
Oh,
this at all. And it's on Tubi, but I don't recommend it.
I love that you brought it up, though.
I
Thank
had
you.
to. It's a warning to all. Just avoid.
You're a good person. You're basically like the old woman who tells people not to, go into the house,
Exactly.
right? You're like, don't do it. Don't do it. Well, one that I thought was okay. Okay. I enjoyed it enough is called Bloodstar.
Oh yeah, I wanted to see
Uh,
this one still.
Yeah, watch it. Yeah, watch it. There's just one law run. A young woman is driving through the desert alone when she's drawn into a dangerous game of cat and mouse with a psychopathic sheriff. This is not a spoiler. You realize that in the first 5 minutes of the film. The chase escalates to deadly levels, and she must use her street smarts to turn the tables against him. Definitely the young lady in this, Bobby, you will be able to get behind. She is a great final girl. I agree with Tim's review here. This was enjoyable. If you like films such as The Hutcher, Wolf Creek, Duel, then this is worth a watch. Also, the one, there was a kind of a period of time there where there was like a bunch of movies about young women who would get like lost somewhere and then have a male stalker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this is a little bit of survival horror versus straight out horror, straight out stalking. A really nice car that's in it, by the way, too. It's really sexy.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is a good film. 97-minute runtime, doesn't overstay its welcome. I think 3.5 stars is really fair. But know what you're going into with this, okay? This is a cat and mouse game. This is a young woman. Can she outsmart the law? That's dark. And you got to be here for it. Like, if that's what you like, check it out. It's not streaming anywhere as of yet, so I say check it out, but well, you might have to wait a bit. But when it becomes available, this might be something that could be picked up on Shudder. I wouldn't be surprised. It's
Okay.
definitely a Shudder vibe to me. I'm thinking because they had that other one like Revenge, where the young woman is away with her boyfriend, and then
Oh
shit goes
yeah.
bad, and she is left for dead, and she fucks them up back.
Yep.
This could be something along those lines. Only a little more. Well, not the Revenge isn't. Like, this is more realistic than Revenge, but
Oh God, yeah.
um,
Real Revenge was a
right.
a cartoon in a way.
But this chick you could see being a little more street smart, we'll say,
Okay.
than the young woman that was portrayed in Revenge. Like this girl, you kind of like, she's seen some shit. Like she's probably, you know, able to outsmart it. So even randoms have given it 3 stars, and I think that says something.
Yeah.
Right. So I definitely say watch it, Scotty. We do have a copy on the Plex. We have a screener. I would say check it out.
All right. I will definitely do that because yeah, that's the one I keep passing over. That I'm like, ooh, I want to see that. I want to see that.
Yeah,
Just haven't
I
gotten
watch
to
it
it
with
yet.
Erica too. Like it's an easy one to watch on a weekday. Throw it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. So I'll jump on to the next one. This is my last 2025 that I'm going to be talking about. Did you end up finishing this one?
I'm halfway through.
Okay. So this one is 825 Forest Road. I believe this is also on Shudder. After a family tragedy, Chuck Wilson hopes to start a new life in Ashland Falls with his wife Maria and little sister Elizabeth. But he quickly discovers that the town has a dark history of being haunted by a ghostly woman who drives residents to suicide. I went into this one not knowing anything about it, and then afterwards I found out it was made by the director of Hell House LLC, and there's a mannequin in this movie that once I heard that goes, yep, that makes a lot of fucking sense now. This dude loves his creepy ass mannequins. This makes so much fucking sense. um, but I will say I went into this and I was talking to you about it when I was like halfway through, and I'm like, yeah, this is, your typical ghost story. It's okay so far, blah blah blah. And while it isn't at the same time. I will give it credit because it kind of goes in chapters where it follows one character for part of the film, and then it'll go to the next chapter and be the other character, and it will start where the other character started in the beginning of the chapter, but then their story kind of splits off and they do their own thing and you see things through there. And vice versa. It keeps doing that for a couple different chapters. So it kept it fresh and interesting, just getting to see everybody's perspectives throughout their time in this house. And by the third act, the reveal was quite interesting, I will have to say. It ends up being not your typical ghost story with the way it plays out. It's very fascinating. Like I still wish there was more to it because I kind of want to rewatch it now that I know how it plays out and kind of go back and pick up the pieces and see if it does better on a second watch because it felt a little slow going at first, even though I was still intrigued. But at the same time, like there are some legit creepy moments in this. And I ended up liking it for the most part. Like I want to go back and watch it and see if I'd like it more.
Oh, that's
Like this,
positive.
yeah, this is one that I definitely like to give another shot just out of curiosity.
Interesting. I'll have to finish it then because I'm not loving it so far. So I need to push myself through.
Yeah, I'd say especially by the third act, it kind of goes a little bit of a different direction, and then you're going, oh, okay. Yeah, we got definitely some movies this year that are trying new things, and I appreciate that.
Well, I love it. I will finish it. And where is it available? Shudder only,
This
right?
one is Shudder. Yep.
Okay. So the one I'm going to talk about is The Rule of Jenny Penn, which is my number one movie of the year. This will be in my top 5.
Yeah, I
don't
really
care what
want to
else
see
comes
this.
out.
I just want to wait a little bit for personal reasons right now, but I really want to see this.
Yes. Like I don't Gregory Rush and John Lithgow. Do I need to say more? You know what I mean?
Amazing actors.
As two adversaries in this retirement community. This is a movie that is on Shudder. It talks about a confined to a secluded rest home and trapped within his stroke-ridden body. A former judge must stop an elderly psychopath who employs a child's puppet to abuse the home residents with deadly consequences. This is a New Zealand film, and it is fucking excellent. It is like John Lithgow pulls off a New Zealand accent.
Oh,
and
really?
I don't know how he fucking did that. Yeah, like I don't know how he did that. It's really quite good. And basically one thing I will say about this film that I really also appreciated, the staff in this film are great. This is not a film that you're going to watch where we saw like The Elderly a couple years ago. And there's another film that came out that was French, where the elderly are in a old age home and they're treated like shit, and then they all rebel and fuck things up. The staff here are good. Like, it's not the staff. Like, they do show the staff being overworked and what the staff need to deal with. But the staff are kind. The staff are not the problem.
It's probably because they're in New Zealand. That makes sense.
yeah, probably, right? And it does show what happens when bullies age and psychopaths age.
Okay.
This movie is definitely about one person who is a psychopath, a senior psychopath and bully, and what they will do to others. And Gregory Rush definitely stands his ground, and definitely, he may win for character you can get behind for me, because even though he's kind of a dick,
is it Jeffrey Rush or Gregory Rush?
I thought it's Jeffrey Rush.
Yeah, because I think you just said Gregory Rush. I want to make sure.
Jeffrey Rush. Sorry, Jeffrey Rush is someone that I can get behind for sure as a character, like a character I can get behind. Because he is, even though he's kind of a dick, but he's not as big as a dick as John Lithgow. So yeah. When you're ready, Scott, it's worth it. It is, by far, in my opinion, like, I agree with, like, you really have kind of highlighted how good Companion was this year, how good some of the other movies were that you brought up. I forgot about Delicious. I was like, now that I think about it, Delicious was pretty good. But to me, this will non-negotiably be in probably my top 3. I'm going to go that far to say that. I think this will be in my top 3. I just think it is a must-watch of this year. If you're in the right place to watch it. It is on Shudder and AMC.
Yeah, because this is the one I definitely have on my list. Like, I seen the trailer months and months ago and was like, oh, this looks good. But then, life things happen and I'm going, it might be a little too heavy for me at this very moment. So I'll wait a little bit, then definitely watch it.
Yeah, when you're ready. But it's definitely, I would say, don't let the year, because it's not, the main characters are within their faculties.
Right. So that's definitely helps.
Yes, they are within their faculties. There are some other characters that are side characters that are not, but who you spend the most time with are in their faculties.
Okay, good to know.
So, yeah. And then the last one I recently watched is Opus.
Yeah, this is the A24 one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's A24.
Nice.
You're like, A24. I saw someone that was like, it's Blink Twice meets Get Out meets Midsommar meets, like, it's just so, it's a mixture of everything. A once-in-a-lifetime experience, a young writer is invited to the remote compound of the legendary pop star who mysteriously disappeared 30 years ago. Surrounded by the star's cult, she finds herself in the middle of twisted plans. So this movie is very, very interesting. John Malkovich is in it. So is Juliette Lewis. So you got some really well-known actor and actress in this film. This is very much a Heather film. And I think if it hadn't been for the last 10 minutes, I would have probably had this for sure in my top 5. Or in my top 10. But the last 10 minutes, I really didn't get what they were trying to say. I think it went above my head. And I love social political shit, Scotty. And even I was like, what the fuck? Was this all of this to get to this, to get to that? It is a little predictable if you've seen any kind of, I'm going to a compound. And I don't know what it is with all these fucking compounds and people just handing over their cell phones. Like, they get there and they're like, okay, you need to give us your cell phone. And they're all like, okay. And they just hand it.
Yeah, that trope's getting a little tired now.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's a new trope that I'm like, all right, you're not even going to be like, why?
Right.
Like, no one's questioning this at all. And I don't know, maybe when you go to big stars' houses and stuff, that's part of the deal. I don't know. Maybe that does happen. But yeah, it's a little silly now. But that being said, A24 always delivers interesting. So if you're looking for interesting, you definitely have found it. I will say that I did enjoy it, and I would have enjoyed it a lot more if it wasn't for the last 10 minutes.
Okay.
The last 10 minutes, I was like, what the fuck?
So what you're saying,
and I don't always need movies to make sense.
Yeah, so what you're saying is I definitely need to watch this just to see.
You do, and I kind of want Erica to watch it too, so she's also like, what the fuck at the end? Because I definitely was trying to give a bigger message about media and, all publicity is good publicity, you know what I mean, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I kind of felt like I didn't quite get it. Like, it didn't hammer it home for me. But It is available on Apple TV, Google Play, Plex, YouTube, and Amazon.
Nice. Yes, I'll try to watch this before we record again. There's The Rule of Jenny Penn, Opus, Bloodstar, Control Freak, Popeye the Slayer Man. Those ones I will definitely be trying to watch before we record again, just so I can have them on my list.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think if you get a chance to watch Grafted at some point,
Oh
and
yes, Grafted. Yep.
The House Was Not Hungry then, I do think it's interesting. I wouldn't say like you got to watch it when you're not sleepy and like really focused. So that may not happen this year, and that's okay if it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Sleepy, focused. Yeah, there's a lot of that not happening right now.
Right. So for first time watches for Slumber Party Massacre, we were going to record an episode. Unfortunately, Lacey's father passed away suddenly, and
Yeah, and my condolences, Lacey.
his shit. His
Yeah.
shit. But we are in the stage that our parents are aging, and there are challenges that come with that. And obviously, when that happens, podcasting takes a back seat. So, we were doing a 70s episode of like blind spots, and I chose Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, and I also watched Burnt Offerings. And a couple other ones too, but I'm not going to bother to talk about them because I didn't like them. So, have you seen Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things?
I did. Remember when I went to that 12-hour horror movie marathon a couple years back?
Yeah.
This was one of the movies that was playing there, and I had not seen it before. And I gotta say, I had a lot of fun with this movie.
Yeah, it's silly.
Yeah, I did not expect it to be silly. I went into thinking it was gonna be like a serious 70s horror film, and it ends up being like a horror comedy.
It's great. I thought it was gonna be some fucking bullshit like what's that big thing from the 70s? Shit, what do they call them all the time? Giallos.
Oh yeah, Giallos, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be a gelato. But it wasn't. It was some stupid zombie film. It was great. Yeah, 1972. Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. Go out to a campsite, fucking zombies, fucking in a house. They're all
And
fucked.
Bob Clark.
It was entertaining. Bob Clark, yeah. Canadian Bob Clark. Thanks, Bob Clark. It was easy to watch, very palatable, fun little film for 1972. Burnt Offerings was actually a really good like poltergeist haunted house shit. The pool scene was really fucked. Have you seen it?
Yeah. Erica and I watched this on Tubi sometime last year, and I had always avoided it because I'd always heard it was just like a very, very slow burn. And I watched it, and I'm going, I didn't think it was that slow of a burn, and I was invested. Like, I really loved this movie. It was a good, scary movie.
Yeah. Yeah, like I enjoyed it. I thought it was like a nice OG haunted house shit, poltergeist stuff. Like 1976, it was decent. It flowed quickly. I cared about what was going to happen.
And Karen Black, I think, was in it, and she did a really good job.
Great, and it was nice to see pool horror done right.
Right.
Congratulations on using the pool effectively, 1976. Really appreciated that. Right. So yeah, I thought those were two good 70s movies that I hadn't seen before that were blind spots for me that I watched.
Yeah, those are both great movies too. So good choices. And I brought one because the other ones I really can't remember much about. But we've slowed down on this marathon of ours, but we were doing the Stephen King marathon, and I think we knocked out everything from the 70s, 80s, and the 90s, and I think we're now just got what's left in the 2000s. So we watched Desperation from 2006, which was a made-for-TV movie, I believe, directed by Mick Garris, who did The Stand and Sleepwalkers, and did a lot of other Stephen King adaptations. And this one stars, God dang it, what's his name? Where is he? Really, he's not the first person? Oh, there he is. Ron Perlman.
Oh, nice.
And he plays a sheriff of this town called Desperation. And he ends up arresting a writer, a family, a couple, and a hitchhiker, and throws them all in this jail cell.
Oh, no.
And you notice that Ron Perlman's character is a bit insane. And you find out later that it's because there was this mine that had some ancient evil buried in it that got opened up, and this spirit of this demon possessed body after body and was body jumping. And when these people showed up to this town, it just so happened to be in Ron Perlman's body as the sheriff. And after a while, this demon being in their body starts to decay. And then they have to jump to a new one. So it ends up being like this body hopping possession horror story that was written by Stephen King. And very cheesy, but also very entertaining. And Ron Perlman plays such a fucking great nut job and psychotic person that I was entertained, though I would say it did drag a little bit towards like the second and third act. Should have kind of trimmed it up a little bit, but all in all, I still thought this was a pretty damn fun Stephen King adaptation that I had not seen before.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I was saying, if you like Ron Perlman and you like seeing him go lose his damn mind, this is a good movie to see that in.
Nice, nice. Nothing like finding a good gem from the 2000s. 2000s always get shit on, so that's nice.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was definitely like I look forward to kind of diving back in, but we slowed down at the minute for the moment just because everything going on in our lives with like other things and haven't been able to easily find some of the early 2000s King adaptations right now. So I'll have to just keep looking.
You know what? Even soldiers must rest.
It's true. We are doing the hard part for everybody, and
Yes,
we
we
just
are doing the
we need a
Lord's
break.
work.
We are.
Right. So thank you as always for being very patient with Scott and I. As we continue to record, both Scott and I are dealing with family members who are not well right now.
Yeah.
And immediate family members, and it's a challenge for us. But at least we have each other to support each other, and really bad 2025 movies to support us as well.
Yep. Help clear our minds of shitty life by watching shitty movies.
Right, and I basically blame Scott for the downfall of America. So there's that as well.
It's technically Rob's fault.
And it's probably Rob's fault. And no, Scott and I haven't charged each other's tariffs and then not charged each other's tariffs and then charged each other's tariffs and then not charged each other tariffs.
I keep threatening her though every single time she brings up a trip to the UK. I keep saying these tariffs are going to go up.
Yeah, he's like tariff per message actually is what we have assigned between the two of us. That would make as much sense as what's happening economically right now. But
yeah.
I feel as though that will be coming to a halt. I'm hoping by October, because I'm hoping that we're not a mess at the border. Tensions between our two countries are at an all-time high, and I'm really hoping that there's no issue by the time we get to October. I think Scott and I, this is the first time I've actually said it out loud, both Scott and I are like, no, trying to pretend like everything's fine.
Yeah, it's all fine. Everything's on fire around us, but we're fine.
Like there's fire everywhere around us. So we're like, it's great, but hopefully by October, I feel as though I think things are slowly settling down.
We'll see.
Well, I think there's going to be pressures outside of a government that's going to make things a little more balanced when it comes to tariffs on things and hopefully border tensions and everything else. So hopefully come October, for Scotty's wedding, I will be there, God willing, for it. So, but yes, we do appreciate your patience with us. We will try to put out something once a month. That is always our goal. That's a realistic goal for us. We appreciate you listening. We really, really do. Thank you. This is very cathartic for me and Scott, because this is sometimes the few time that we actually get to talk to each other. We message, but
yeah, this is our hanging out session. We haven't done it in a long time, so it's been needed because we have both been going through hell and back right now, family life wise. So it's been a lot. So I mean, thank you everybody for being patient. If you're still with us, awesome. If not, understandable as well, because it has been quite a long time. I think the last time we released an episode was February. So I mean, I know we all appreciate you guys, and I understand that some people may give up on us, but we do what we can. And we've always treated this as a hobby.
And we won't give up on you, and I won't give up on public domain characters being made into movies. So thank you as always to our good friends at The Horror Returns, Dummies of Horror, Slasher Radio, Exploding Head Movies Podcast,
Eternal Darkness of the Not So Spotless Mind podcast.
Thank you, because you knew I wasn't going to be able to say that one properly. Go check out Matt Wood's DJ Freebase. It's great. Thanks to all our friends along the way that have continually to support us, and if you keep listening, that's great. I hope we bring some joy to your day. And we covered a lot of movies now, so now you got a lot of work to go back and do. So when we come back again, which will probably be sometime in May when I return from my trip to the UK, Rob.
Oh boy.
Just in case you didn't know, Rob.
See, tariffs are already going up.
right? But not to England. Not to England. And I do always watch. I'm very lucky. My good friend Mark Iverson is there, and he always challenges me to watch older horror films. Um, and that's great because if it wasn't for him pushing it, I probably wouldn't have watched a lot of older films. And also, it is his book launch for his book on
Oh
Peter
yeah, that's
Cushing,
right.
right? And my friend Lucy, she's a Wiccan, and we are going to be talking about her practice of the Wiccan faith.
Oh, nice.
And she is going to be sharing some of her art and her journey as a Wiccan. So it's very horror related. So I will definitely be talking about that. It's very sweet. They put me on the flyer and billed me as one of the hosts of the Friday Nightmares podcast. Because we're a big deal, Scott. Like,
Oh, we
I
are.
don't see Tim Davis and Daniel and Rob's name on any fucking flyer. Do we? No.
Nope. I was like, we're
No.
a big deal. We're
We're a
premium.
big deal. And I have to premiumly support Scott and I. I believe that this will be videoed, so I may send it to you. It's just a brief question and answer session. But I will send it to you, Scott. It'll probably be
Yeah,
like
please
20,
do.
30 minutes. Yeah, when it's released. Amber wants to see it too. So I do think that should be fun. I'm seeing a couple of plays. One is more of a crime thriller, which I'm kind of excited about. So who knows? And sometimes we get out to a movie. Sometimes in Britain they get certain horror movies there. Like I do want to see 28 years later. And
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think it'll be out when I'm there, but it was filmed where I will be staying.
Oh,
So
nice.
parts of it was filmed in Newcastle, so I think that's kind of cool. But I'm unsure of that about that one. The previews have been weird.
Yeah, I'm curious about it more than anything.
Yeah, right. So we'll probably film something record something at the end of May. So if you don't hear from us for a little bit, that's why. Anything else housekeeping wise we might want to touch base on, Scotty?
Housekeeping wise, nothing I can think of besides promoting the Patreon and all that stuff
Mm-hmm.
for Legion. Yeah, I'll say I think I'm just gonna be kind of buckling down, getting ready for stuff for the wedding,
Yeah.
and it's getting closer and closer and closer. So
I know, poor Erica. I need to make sure I call her, be like, blink twice if you're happy and you want to stay. She's like, blink, blink. I'm like, blink twice if you want to watch Baghead again. She's nice. She hangs up on me.
no quicksand.
Quicksand. Oh no, Baghead. She was not a fan of either.
No.
But yeah, a lot of those tropes, right? But yes, as always, please support the Legion Podcast Network on Patreon. They do a lot for small little podcasts like us, and they always give back. And on theme this year, this phrase will be said, but you heard it first here on Friday Nightmares because the remake is coming out this year,
Uh-huh.
or the reimagining, or I don't know, the third sequel or whatever you want to, or fourth sequel. So, Scotty, do you have anything to say if people
If you're not a
haven't joined?
Yeah, if you haven't joined the Patreon yet and you're not a member, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? The remake is coming soon, so what are you waiting for? Join
I
us.
I want to see you in the remake. It's just you. And you're like, what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? That'd be
That would
awesome.
honestly be the best. Not gonna lie. That would be the absolute best. So to everybody, take care of yourselves and your loved ones. We are, for some of us, reaching the age where our parents require a little more care and it's a little more work. And we hope that you're all doing your best to take care of yourselves. And don't worry, tariffs aside, American Canada drama aside, Scotty and I are still strong in our alliance.
Damn
Nothing
straight we are.
will tear us apart, except for maybe border security and that for ending up for traveling across the border. But we will still stay friends. We want to make that clear.
Exactly. Yes, we will never. Nothing will get in between us. We are brother and sister at this point. We are family.
Though this is definitely Scott's country's fault, just to be clear.
100%. I ain't gonna deny that.
But until next time, we'll catch you guys then. But Scott, do you have anything to say to the good folks that have stuck with us?
Yeah, for everybody that's stuck with us and is patiently waiting these episodes, thank you so much. Glad that you guys stuck around. And until next time, kiddies, unpleasant dreams.
See ya. That's funny.